Okay, gang, so I'm standing in front of the new septic system. At long last, we finally got the permit to replace our septic tank. Our county, again, we're very rural, actually farms out the septic permitting to the next county over, which is Josephine County. And unfortunately, they're understaffed in the department in Josephine. And long story short, it took almost 2 months for us to get the permit to replace the septic tank. The tank that was here before was actually an open cesspool, a steel round tank. I'll show you a picture of before and after here in a minute, but there was no lid on the tank, just a plastic makeshift cover that was covering the tank. So don't know how long that had been like that, but again, it was a completely antiquated system that wasn't going to work for us. So long story short, we finally did get the permit, and our contractor installed the new tank, which is 1,000-gallon tank, more than enough tank for what we're going to build here. The existing leach field was fine and in good working order, so fortunately we did not have to replace that, but rather just tie into it. So it's still open because we're waiting for the final inspection, which hopefully will occur next week, and then contractor will come back out with his excavator and close all this in. It's been a busy week. Today's Friday, and our phase one that Lisa and I have for the property essentially includes this year. So by the end of the year, we hope to complete what we call phase one. Phase one includes replacement of the well system and rebuilding the well house, which we've completed, replacement of the septic tank, which is nearly complete, bulldozing the existing house, which requires a permit, a demolition permit, and in our county, actually throughout the state of Oregon, if your house was built before 2004, I believe it was, and you want to demolish it, you have to have an environmental report done first to make sure that there's no asbestos in the house. So I had that environmental inspection done this morning. A real nice gentleman out of Coos Bay, and he took 5 samples. So fingers crossed that this inspection comes back with no hot areas. He felt like the only suspicious material was there was some of the 9x9 tile, unfortunately, which is suspicious, linoleum tile under the carpeting in the bedrooms. So this house was built in 1966, and that is, kind of fits the time frame. I've had experience with those tiles in the past, and sometimes they do contain asbestos in the glue on the back of those tiles. Sometimes they don't. So regardless, that the results of that report will be coming next week, toward the end of next week, and again, fingers crossed that we don't have a situation there that's going to have to be mitigated, meaning removed before we can get a permit to demolish this house. So there are different options available for removing that tile material, including in the state of Oregon, the homeowner can do it themselves as long as they follow the DEQ guidelines. You don't have to hire a third-party contractor to do it. So anyhow, we'll see how that goes. But so that inspection was done. The other project on our phase one is to build the first outbuilding, which is right behind me over there, the location. I don't require a permit for building that structure. However, the planning department does require approving where on the property that building can exist. There are certain setback requirements that are necessary before I can actually start building that building. That's going to be a 16 by 24 building, and I'm excited to get started on that. I think I'm going to do a pole barn. but I will pour a foundation, or footers rather, but I'm going to start with just a stone base for the ground. Again, I'm just going to use that facility to store lumber and other implements for building this house, which will hopefully occur in our second phase, which will take place sometime next year. So that's it. We are looking good. I'm glad to have this project almost complete, and look forward to moving on to the next one. All right, guys. Okay, so I thought I'd take you guys on a walk up the road that's on the western side of the property. It looks like it was developed at one point, but it's extremely overgrown right now. I have done nothing with it since we acquired the property. No mowing, no nothing. But let's go for a walk. I'll show you what's up there. So this is the road I'm talking about, and as we go up, there's a little bit of an elevation gain, but not too much. Our property to the left goes back almost 200 feet that direction, and it does slope off as you walk back in there, it looks like it does. I have not walked back in there. It's so thick. I just haven't had the chance to go in and explore that side of the property yet, but it's a big portion of this whole property is on the south side here. On this side of the road, our property goes that direction, little more than 100 feet. And this is pretty cool in here, actually. There's quite a few hardwood trees mixed in with the pines, and we're looking forward to getting in there and exploring, which will probably happen toward the end of October, first part of November, when many of the hardwoods in particular drop their leaves and the bush is a little clearer underneath, so it's easier to get in and explore. But it's cool back in there, and we're looking forward to developing trails and perhaps building a fort back in there. So we'll keep going, and you know, some of the areas open up here. This is a spot that is pretty cool, and again, it looks like going to the south here, it's probably, southwest, I guess. Let me see. South is that way, west is this way. Yeah, south. It's probably flat for, I don't know, it looks like not more than maybe 10 or 15 yards and then starts to slope down. But again, it's so thick. All kinds of bird life back here. It's cool. And then this is an area that opens up pretty nice. It's a pretty wide area, actually. I could, clear this out a little bit more and we could put a building up here, honestly. Nice view of the peak over there. Again, more deer trails. Not sure what that is. It looks like some kind of industrial axle or something. I don't know, it's kind of strange. Rollers of some kind. No idea what it's doing back here. There's some stacked rock over there. This could have been a, you know, a homestead, I guess, at one point. And then we keep going, and that stake there is the approximate western boundary of the property. The surveyor, when they were surveying the property, said there's supposed to be a fence here. On the other side of the property is one family property owner that owns probably close to 1,000 acres back there. They're a big landowner in Curry County, and this happens to be one of the parcels that they own. They've done some logging on the property, pretty far removed from us. I've actually hiked back in there. It's cool. You get into a real cool canopy of hardwood trees and pines, mostly hardwoods actually, and great vistas. There's different valleys and stuff. So it's pretty cool back there. Again, somewhere between where I'm standing and just beyond the stake is the actual property line, but I'm not that concerned about its exact location. More deer paths going up that direction. I really am excited about getting in, and Lisa and I kind of carving paths and trails through this whole side of this road. This is the part of the property that's sort of directly behind the house. So that'll be fun. So anyway, that's just a quick little walk down this road that at some point we will develop, and at a minimum at least cut a lot of this brush back and bring the bush hog up in here and, you know, make this road a little more definitive. Pretty cool.